Okay, let's see if I actually can finish my January TBR, shall we? Hi everyone, my name is Chloe, welcome back to my channel, thank you for being here today. Today's video is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. It is Tuesday, so it's a little bit later than I normally start these vlogs. I say that, like recently I think they've all been starting later than usual. I have just been all over the place, like reading wise and just like brain wise in general. So yeah, not necessarily been picking up a camera in the same sort of way that I normally do. But I thought I would just actually start this vlog. I've just finished a book that I've talked about in last week's reading vlog. I finished my reread of Ninth House. I am going to be moving on to Hellbent, but not straight away. I want to read something like a little bit easier to read in between. So I think I'm going to start The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. That one by India Halton, I think it is. I've got like two books that have been recommended by Meg, and they've both got like fairly long titles and I keep getting them confused, but I think this one is India Halton. I'm gonna go and get it in a minute, so I could have just like waited and gone and got it before I picked it up, but I didn't. Like I said, it's Tuesday now. I am supposed to be going to London on Saturday. I say supposed to be going because I'm supposed to be going with my mum. And she got back from holiday last week. They've been away for the week. She got back and has tested positive for COVID. She's generally feeling like okay. Like she's ill. She is very like tired and run down, and she's got like a cough and cold type thing. But she's got like enough energy to get out of bed and things like that. But she does not sure if she's gonna have enough energy to come away at the weekend. She's also not sure if she's going to be like testing negative yet, but that's a whole other thing. But she said that even if she is testing negative, she's not sure she's actually going to like have the energy to go to London for the weekend. So she's encouraged me to go on my own. I obviously do need to make sure that I'm not testing positive before I go, because like technically you don't have to isolate anymore, but obviously if I am testing positive, even if I feel fine, because I'm fine at the minute, I would not want to be going and spreading it to other people. So basically the plan at the minute is that I'm staying as far away from her as possible. I've basically just been locking myself in my room, apart from like going down to get food. And I'm going to try and like avoid all contact with her as much as possible. She is going to, it's Tuesday now, like I said, she's done a test today and she's still testing positive. She originally tested positive on Saturday. She's done another test today. She's going to do another one on Thursday and then kind of see how that goes. If she's still testing positive, she's probably just going to say I'm not going at the weekend. If she's testing negative but still feeling ill, she might say that she's not going to go at the weekend. But we will see. I do potentially have backup options for people to go with me. But again, we will see what happens with that. Obviously, if I end up testing positive in the meantime, hopefully I don't. Hopefully like I'm staying away from her and I don't catch it. But if I did, then it's going to be some last minute emails to see if I can swap tickets around. But for now, I'm just gonna try and not think about it too much and think about happy things instead, because today is 3 weeks until we go to see Hadestown in New York. Yes, I'm going to give you the countdown every single week. I'm very sorry. The reason why I'm particularly excited today is that today is actually, it's the 17th of January, which is the day that Aaron Tveit goes back into Moulin Rouge. So it's 3 weeks tomorrow until I go to see him, but today is his first day like back in the theatre. But today's his first day like back performing. And there's going to be so many clips tomorrow because like much as I don't agree with people filming bootlegs, like I say, I don't agree with it. I don't like seeing people film it if they are ruining my viewing experience, or ruining like anybody's viewing experience. If they can do it in a way where they are not distracting the other people around them, please continue to do it, because I do enjoy the clips. And I can guarantee when I go on TikTok tomorrow morning there will be some clips of him. Like I just need to see him sing El Tango de Roxanne again. I really do. But yeah, 3 weeks tomorrow till I go. He will be on the stage tonight. Also today, me and Meg have booked tickets to go to the Olivier Awards because we're fancy. We decided to, they basically do sell some of the tickets to the general public. And when I say the general public, you have to do it sort of through MasterCard, and it's their sort of like rewards program that they have for having a MasterCard, because they are one of the sponsors of the Oliviers. So I was able to access that today, and the tickets went on sale at midday. Well, there was a delay actually, but they went on sale like, I think it was like 10 to, but I was like refreshing the page from 12 o'clock and they finally went on sale about 1:15. And yeah, we got those. The thing is, when you buy the tickets, like it tells you the dress code and you have to tick a box to say that you have seen that if you do not meet the dress code, you will not be admitted into the awards. So it's like a black tie / glamorous dress code, I believe. So I need to get a pretty dress. But yeah, just really excited to, like, it's not even a year where there's going to be like, I can't even think what's actually going to win like Best New Musical and things like that, because it just feels like a strange year where there's been plenty of stuff that's started. I feel like there's been quite a lot of short runs of things, but I just can't think what's actually going to like win all the awards. But I'm intrigued to see what the performances are going to be. Hannah Waddingham's been announced as a host as well, and I like her, so I am excited to go. It should be a fun evening. It's actually during a weekend where we're already going to be in London, because it's on the 2nd of April, and that weekend we will be going down to, well, a group of us are going down because it's Becca's birthday on the 31st of March, so we have plans for Becca's birthday on the Friday and the Saturday, and then me and Meg are going to an Ariana DeBose concert. Ariana DeBose is a musical theatre actress. She most well known for playing Anita in the newer film adaptation of West Side Story. She won the Oscar for it. She was also in the original cast of Hamilton. We're going to go and see her concert on the Saturday night, and then we're going to go to the Olivier's on the Sunday. So it's going to be a very busy weekend, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I feel like it's kind of what I'm focusing on at the minute is all the things I have booked, because that is helping me sort of power through. I like having countdowns to things. So, countdown to New York at the minute. I'm sure there will be a countdown to London after. Although, actually, I've got another long London weekend well before that one, but we'll get to that closer to the time. Right now I'm going to go and get my book because we have 5 minutes left of the sprint. I'm probably not going to start it in this sprint. I'm on Lisa's sprints, by the way. I'm probably not going to start the book in this sprint, but at least I have like got it ready and prepared for the next one. I may just export my clips from last week's vlog so I can actually start editing at some point. Right, I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. Hello, it is Thursday. I think I last updated this vlog in the first clip on Tuesday. What has happened since then? No reading. We're not really expecting reading. I'm very hit and miss these days. To be honest, last night, the reason why I didn't read is that I was on like a call with Meg for most of the night planning New York trip. Yes, I know I mention it every single week. You've only got 2 more vlogs, so you've got to listen to me like talk about it, and then you'll have the vlog when I'm actually there, and then eventually I will shut up, I promise. But we planned basically all of the shows and things that we're going to go and see. Well, most of them. I think we've got like 1 free slot that we need to possibly figure something out. We might not go and see anything that day, but yeah, we planned what shows we're going to see. There's most of them are together, and then there's a few that we're going to separate off for. And I am going to actually do like a full video that's probably going to go up while I'm in New York, where I talk about like what my actual plans are for that week. But itinerary is looking good. I'm very excited about it. We also planned a couple of other like London trips that we've got, because we've always got London trips happening. Speaking of, I'm going to London this weekend. I don't know if I think I mentioned it in the first clip, and I was supposed to go in with my mum, but she's not been very well. She's had COVID. She is going to do a test again tomorrow, but even if she tests negative, she has decided that she's probably not going to feel up to going. So she has told me to go by myself. I am obviously going to do a test before I go, just to make sure I haven't caught it, but I don't think I have, touch wood. Like, I've stayed away from it and I feel fine. But basically, I have got a ticket to go and see Newsies on Saturday night. I haven't booked any other shows because we were sort of leaving it till last minute. So right now I just have the ticket for Newsies, but I do need to book something for Sunday at least, because my train back isn't until 7 o'clock at night, so I need something to do on Sunday. But now, instead of my mum coming with me to see Newsies, Becca's going to come with me instead, which I'm very excited for, actually, because I am excited for her to see this one. I feel like it's one I keep going on about how good it is, so I would like other ones of my friends who aren't people who already like the musical to see it, so that I can be like, see what other people's reactions are, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Becca on Saturday night. I do have Saturday afternoon free, so I'll probably end up going to see a matinee then as well. I'm thinking of going to see, it's a new musical called Allegiance, which has got George Takei, I never know how to pronounce his name, from Star Trek. It's based on his life, actually. I'm thinking of going to see that on the Saturday, and then maybe Les Mis on the Sunday. I know I've seen Les Mis many times before, but basically the actor who's playing Valjean at the minute I really, really like, and he is actually leaving the cast to join Phantom, which I'm very excited for, because I will hopefully go and see him in Phantom as well. But I would like to see him as Valjean again before he leaves, so I'm going to leave it till last minute so I can check and see if he's actually on the Sunday, and if he is, then I'll probably go and see Les Mis so I can see John Robbins as Valjean for one last time. But right now I'm on sprints with Liv. Well, it's Liv sprints, but there's many of us on. But we have 10 seconds left of this sprint, so I'm going to go. But I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm going to film and hopefully read something, and I will let you know what happens tomorrow. I have not actually told you that I've come to London yet, but you've seen clips, so I am in London. I'm now at the Newsies Theatre yet again, and I have a Becca. Taking Becca to see, I think I've already mentioned this, but my mum's too ill to come, so Becca's got my mum's ticket, and now she gets to go and see Newsies, and I'm very excited about it.
I mean, I'm sad that your mum couldn't come see it, but also, like, I was curious to come see it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Like, so I'm excited.
I mean, me and Meg were saying, we're like, we hope she likes it, because like we love it so much, and we're like, if anything, she's just got to be in awe of the talent on the stage, because like,
I mean, I will say, I listened to the soundtrack on Spotify, and it's a really catchy.
It's written by Alan Menken. It's Disney. He wrote like Little Mermaid and things. So
this is very fair.
It's this is again something me and Meg say when we say it. We're like, oh, the music's really good, and then we go, oh, Alan Menken. Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Perfect sense. Right, we're gonna go in now because it's cold.
So cold.
Bye. Hello, it is Saturday, as you probably guessed from the clips that I've already filmed outside the theatre with Becca earlier. Let me give you a little bit of a catch up on where we're at for the day. So I didn't film an update yesterday because there's always a day in the week that I don't film an update, and it was yesterday. I didn't really do much. I tried to get Madonna tickets for my mum in the morning for her birthday, couldn't get them. So once I'd sort of finally given up on getting those, I just kind of didn't do much for the rest of the day. I should have been productive. I should have been reading. I didn't read. I should have been packing. I did that at like 9 p.m. I should have been booking the rest of the tickets for New York because there are theatre shows that we've now decided we're going to see, and I should have been booking a couple of those, but I just didn't. I just didn't want to do anything. I took like a day off work because originally we were thinking of extending the London trip and coming down yesterday, and that was a little bit of a wasted day. It wasn't like a proper holiday day, it was like a loo day for extra time that I've already worked that I did need to use, because if you hold too much of it you lose it, so I did need to use it anyway. But yeah, it was a bit of a nothing day, but maybe that was what was needed. I did read a little bit on the coach on the way down here. So obviously, as I mentioned already, this trip was supposed to be with my mum. She tested positive for COVID earlier on in the week. She's now testing negative, but she still wasn't feeling up to come in. Well, actually, yesterday she was feeling better and then sort of overexerted herself. So it's a good job she hasn't come because she's not feeling too great today. But that meant that, like, the train journey down, I was by myself. I would have been with my mum. I'm now in a hotel room that is a twin bed, but I don't need a twin bed. So I've just sort of got... So I just sort of got extra bits this weekend that I'm not really needing. It's how I ended up with the extra ticket for Newsies that Becca obviously came with that Becca obviously ended up using. I will get to that part in a minute. But let's talk about what I actually did do today. So train journey down, I ended up reading some of my book. I didn't read as much as I wanted to, partly because I didn't start reading straight away because I was trying to sort out rush tickets, which I will tell you what I went to see in a second. You've already seen the clip, so you already know, but I will talk you through it more in a second. But yeah, I was like waiting until 10 o'clock to try and get rush tickets, and then by the time I'd got those sorted, it took me a little bit of time to sort of like get into the book. I kept getting distracted. I read about 30 pages, which is not a massive amount, but I am enjoying it so far. So hopefully I'll be able to read a little bit more of it tomorrow. I am not planning on doing much tomorrow other than probably going to see another show. But I'm like going to stay in the hotel room as long as I can do. So I'll try and read a bit in the morning, and then I will read, obviously, well, hopefully on the train home. But yeah, let's talk about the shows I went to see today. So I got to London at like 20 to 12, and then got on the tube, got off at Covent Garden. I hate getting off at Covent Garden because I hate going in those lifts, but I braved it because I needed to go to Glossier because like I use their skincare, because I use some of their makeup and skincare, and the stuff that I use is running out, and I was like, well, rather than paying shipping while I'm in London, I might as well go there. So I called in Glossier, and then while I was near the theatre cafe, I thought I might as well go in, and there was like a bunch of people cosplaying Les Mis, which was fun. From what I could like sort of overhear, I think they were going to see it in the evening, but it seemed like it was like a group of friends that had met up through a love of Les Mis, I'm guessing, because they were saying something about like sort of talking online, and then they were doing like a Secret Santa, like a belated Secret Santa. It was really cute. They were all, like I said, there were like many costumes, and I was enjoying it as a Les Mis fan. Then, so the rush ticket I ended up getting, rush tickets for anyone who doesn't know is basically tickets that they put on sale on the day for cheaper prices, and they usually are just like tickets that they've got left over, and they'll put them on for cheaper to try and sell them, because obviously it's better to have like a sellout audience that they're paying a little bit cheaper than to not have those tickets sold. So the ones that I got were from the Statix app, and they go on sale at 10 o'clock on the day of performance. And I tried to get rush tickets for 2 different shows. I had kind of 2 in mind. I originally tried for Best of Enemies, which is a play that's got Zachary Quinto and I can never remember the other guy's name, but I tried to get that one because it closes in like 3 weeks time. Couldn't get that one, so I thought, okay, well, I'll just try my backup option. Hopefully there'll still be some available, because the worry when you're trying to get 2 is that like the other one, your backup will sell out while you're trying to get your original one, and then you'll end up with neither. Luckily my backup did still have tickets left. It was Allegiance, which is a new musical that transferred over from, which is a new musical on the West End. It has been on Broadway before, I believe. I think pre-pandemic, because it's streamed whilst like lockdowns and things were happening. You could actually buy the DVD in the theatre today of the Broadway production. This had some of the original cast from Broadway, mainly George Takei. Mainly George. I can't say, I can never remember if his last name is Takei or Takei. I think it's Takei, but anyway, mainly him. Mr. Sulu from Star Trek. It is a semi-autobiographical musical, so it's partly based on his life, and it's basically about Japanese people living in America during World War II, and sort of the internment camps that they were put into, and also kind of like the dilemma of being Japanese American. So basically within this musical you had a family at the heart of it, and obviously different generations of that family have sort of different connections to the country that they are from, either be that they are from Japan and have moved over to America, or that they are of Japanese descent but were born and raised in America. They're gonna have sort of like different ideas of things, because like the younger character in it, who was played by an actor called Telly Lung, who's been on various things on Broadway and also some television as well, his character was very much sort of about the fact that he was raised in America and kind of viewed himself as an American first, and wanted to prove that, because it was after Pearl Harbor, so obviously when Japan had bombed America, that is when sort of America retaliated. That's when America sort of got involved in the war, and obviously there was this fear of Japanese people living in America because they feared that they were sort of all against them and that something else was going to happen. So the younger character was sort of very much about the fact that they were born in America and that they wanted to fight for their country, which they saw as America. Basically showing that just because they are of Japanese descent doesn't mean that they agree with what like the country of Japan had done, whereas some of the older characters didn't necessarily agree with what had happened in the war, but also didn't want to renounce the fact that they were Japanese, because that's kind of what they were being asked to do, was to sort of say that they would dedicate themselves to the USA and renounce anything to do with Japan, whereas they didn't want to lose that part of their identity. It was some very like interesting conversations, and it's a part of history that I don't think is necessarily talked about that much. Like, you hear about World War II, and when you hear about sort of camps and things within World War II, you obviously think of the sort of concentration camps that the Nazis were involved in, but you don't necessarily hear about the fact that the other side, like the Allied forces, did sort of round people up as well, for different reasons I suppose, but it doesn't make it okay. Like, what got done to these people was not okay, and I think it was interesting to sort of hear a little bit more about that. I did have some issues with how the musical was set up. I know I said this last time that I came to see shows. I am going to do an actual video sort of talking more in depth about my thoughts on it, but I did enjoy the show. It was probably like a 3.5 rating. Like, there were parts of it that I really, really liked. The performances were all fantastic. I just feel like there's parts of the actual show itself that need some work. And then I went to go and see Newsies. So Becca ended up having my mum's ticket for that, and she wasn't sure if she was going to like it before she went in. Obviously I spoke about Newsies before. I absolutely adore that show. Becca has not really listened to the cast recording too much before agreeing to come with me. She'd heard like odd songs, like she knew Santa Fe. Like, I know she'd definitely listened to Santa Fe before, but I'm not sure about much else. But she sort of said the other day, she was like, oh, I'm not sure whether I should listen to the show before I go and see it, because normally she doesn't. Normally she waits until after she's seen a show. And me and Meg both said, like, you should probably listen to it because there are a lot of big ensemble numbers and there's a lot of like singing over each other, and if you don't know the words before, it can be a little bit difficult to pick it up. And so she did end up listening to it, and she, as we were on our way in, she was like, the songs are quite catchy, I've realised. And I was just like, yeah, because it's Alan Menken. Like, me and Meg have had this discussion many times. Like, Alan Menken is a fantastic songwriter. He writes a lot of Disney stuff. And I was like, yeah, see, you need to come and see this show, Becca. It is a Disney musical. And she did end up enjoying it. And she did end up enjoying it. She says that she didn't think she wouldn't like it. She didn't think it'd be a bad show, but she just wasn't sure if it was going to be for her. But she did end up enjoying it, which I'm very happy about. And also, like, as I've said before, like, nobody can go and see that show and not be in awe of the ensemble and in awe of the cast and the talent that is on there, because like just the dancing is fantastic. And that was a discussion at the interval. It's just like, it's so good. I'm now in the hotel, so I've left Becca. It was a bit of a rushed goodbye actually, because I had like 2 missed calls from the hotel and I was a bit panicked that they had sort of thought that I wasn't checking into the room and giving my room away. Luckily they didn't. I am here in the room. I am going to possibly order some food now because I'm hungry, and then I am going to go to sleep. And tomorrow, potentially the plan is to go and see Les Mis. Yes, I know I've seen it many times before. If I go and see it tomorrow, it'll be the 25th time I've seen it. But basically the Valjean that I really like is leaving at some point soon. We do not know when, because he's going into Phantom, which I'm very excited about. I will be going to see him in Phantom, but he will basically need to leave Les Mis before the end of February, I think, because that gives him like a month to rehearse for Phantom. So if I don't see him in Les Mis this weekend, I'm probably not going to get to see him in Les Mis again. Now, I'm not entirely sure he's definitely going to be on tomorrow, because a lot of times when I go, because a lot of times Les Mis on a Sunday has covers on, so there's a possibility he's not going to be on. I'm maybe going to leave it last minute and just see if anything's been announced about any covers. The problem is with Les Mis is that they don't announce things early. Like, people don't announce what days they have holiday or anything like that, or if they're off sick, because the theatre company does not actually allow them to announce the holidays in advance, which is really irritating. They think that it'll negatively affect ticket sales. They don't remember that some people actually want to specifically go and see the covers. But never mind, we will see in the morning. Also depends on how much tickets are, because part of the reason why I went to see Allegiance today, did I actually say the name of it? But part of the reason why I went to see that was because it was only £20 for the rush tickets. Like I said, they are cheaper than normal ones. Anyway, I'm definitely rambling. This is a very long clip, but at least it means that my vlog will actually be longer this week. Right, I'm gonna go and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It is Monday evening. I didn't wrap this up yesterday because I was going back from London and just fell asleep when I got home, because obviously I did. As you probably saw, I went to see Les Mis yesterday. It was the 25th time that I've seen Les Mis, but don't regret going to see it that many times at all. I will probably go and see it many more times again. There is an actor playing Jean Valjean at the minute called John Robbins, who is leaving to go up and play Phantom in Phantom of the Opera. I think I may have said this on Saturday night's clip. But I did end up getting tickets to go and see it yesterday, and he was on, so I was very happy about that. It feels almost like, because he knows he's leaving, he's like putting even more into the performance, and it was so good. I am going to do a full video review of the shows I've been to see this weekend and the weekend before. I'm going to do like a wrap up of January, so I will go into it more then. I'm not going to ramble about it now, because I realised I did that on Saturday and I've probably cut half of it from this vlog, but I just thought I would give you a little bit of a final clip to end the vlog. I didn't read any more on the train back. I ended up, what did I even do? I was listening to the Cabaret cast recording that has come out. But yeah, don't actually have any more reading updates, but I thought I would just say bye. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.